Wednesday, December 23rd, 2020, Maneco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. Today we're going to look at the fallacy of stimulus, be it fiscal or monetary stimulus. It might sound heartless, but what's going on today, not only in the US, but all over Europe, the UK, with the government deficit spending, with monetary stimulus, is totally against free markets, small government. It's all about socialism and communism. That's what it's all about. And before I go further, I want to recommend a book that I've recommended before. I haven't looked into it very much recently, but I think it's more than appropriate for people to maybe read this, to see the real role of government, what it should be and how small it should be. It's called The Law by Frederic Bastiat. So Frederic Bastiat was a French statesman, actually, economist, a writer, a philosopher back in the early 1800s. I think he died in 1850. One of my favorite epigrams from Frederic Bastiat is the following. The state, he declared in perhaps his most memorable epigram, is that great fiction by which everyone tries to live at the expense of everyone else. Here's the most important or the most basic principle of Frederic Bastiat's way of thinking, and this book was written around 1850, where they were already moving into socialism in France. It says here, he also became isolated politically. The struggle between left and right was for power and plunder. Yet, Bastiat believed that the only purpose of government was to guarantee individual rights and freedom. So there you go. The other work or story, actually, that I would like to reference to you so you can have a read this holiday period, maybe if you haven't yet, is a story about Davy Crockett. Yes, famous Davy Crockett, who was at the Alamo, but he was also a congressman, I think from, was it Tennessee or Kentucky? I'm not too sure yet, Tennessee. And it's a story entitled Not Yours to Give, Davy Crockett on the Role of Government. And I'm not going to go through it right now, but I'll put a link below in the description so you can see my way of thinking. Is it heartless? I know the government has locked everything down, especially here in Europe. In the US, it's been different. It's been the states, and people, of course, have lost a lot. People have lost everything, some people. And it seems fair that the government has to help them. But if you understand what government is, as Bastiat said, the great fiction where everyone thinks they can live at the expense of everyone else, you understand what I mean. I'm not against charity, but if politicians want to give stimulus, fiscal stimulus, it should come out of their pockets. Nancy Pelosi, Senator Warner, I think he's a Democrat. He's one of the richest senators, or even people in Congress. They should give maybe 3/4 of their wealth to the pot. If every congressman, senator, if President Trump, if they gave half their wealth, I'm sure there would be a little bit to go around, but they should do it as charity. They shouldn't take it from future generations, because that's what fiscal stimulus is all about, is lumbering future generations with inflation, with debt, with taxation. Monetary, the same. And as Bastiat says, it's a matter of left and right. It's not a matter of right. It's the left and right that do it. Back in 2008, they bailed out the banks. They bailed out the big corporations. The stimulus, the CARES Act earlier this year, and even here in the UK. Where is it going to mostly? Well, to the very wealthy, and that's wrong as well. So, two wrongs don't make a right. And why am I speaking about the stimulus today? Well, because I see here that President Trump has not signed the stimulus bill. He wants it changed. Says here, Trump demands changes to 900 billion US stimulus bill. So he wants to give each American $2,000 instead of $600, and $4,000 if it's a couple, married couple. So I just think it just goes to show that is President Trump, is he really trying to save America from socialism and communism? I mean, he's even asking for more of what Bastiat calls legal plunder. I'm not trying to criticize anyone personally, Trump, Biden, or I'm not trying to talk about what happened during the election. I'm just looking at their actions here. So it looks like he's going to send the bill back to Congress. He wants it amended. And it's funny because it says here also that the Secretary of the Treasury, who works for Trump, was happy with the bill. So it's all very confusing anyway. The other thing I wanted to reference to you, it's a speech by Senator Rand Paul. And I think Senator Paul, I mean, he's got good intentions. His way of thinking, I like. I've interviewed his father, Dr. Ron Paul, before on this channel. I met Ron Paul back in 2002 at the Mises Institute. My wife and I went there for the 20th anniversary conference of the Mises Institute. The Mises Institute, of course, is kind of the seat of the Austrian School of Economics in the world, I would say, even though it's in Auburn, Alabama. And yeah, we went there, and Ron Paul was there. And people asked him, how did you become successful running on a platform of very small government? And he said that when he ran for the House congressional seat in Texas, it was a place that had a lot of farming and fishing, I think the district, if I'm not mistaken. And he always used to ask his constituents, has big government helped you in the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years? And they would say, no, not really. So that's how he got his message across. He was known as Mr. No, right? Because he voted down all these stimulus, all the pork barrel. That was Ron Paul. And it looks like Senator Paul is voting against the stimulus. I'll put a link to his speech in the Senate. Well, he posted on his YouTube channel on December 21st. It says, Senator Paul, stop piling debt on future generations, open the economy, and cut waste in the budget. So there you go. Until we do that, until people stop expecting government to be the savior, things are not going to get better. Yes, and this is not a matter of left and right. As I said, it's a matter of the whole thing, because we've had corporate welfare. I think Davy Crockett, for example, he'd be surprised and very shocked at what's going on right now. Even, talking about trillions of dollars. He wouldn't have recognized the country, Davy Crockett. So that's my message for the day. Yeah, stimulus is actually going to be a hindrance to freedom and prosperity. It might seem like a panacea in the short term, but it's going to be even worse. You're going to get more expectation that the government needs to help. I mean, if President Trump, who's supposed to be the anti-socialist, communist president, is actually calling for more of his. I don't know what to say. It's just not very encouraging for the future, I would say. So I'm a little earlier today. Why is that? And Billy, he's still asleep. I didn't want to wake him up, gave him a break. Well, because I'm going to play golf this morning around 10:30. I'm looking forward to it. I haven't been playing that much. The weather hasn't been great today. It's supposed to be better. So before I finish here, let's quickly look at where the markets are. We've got, and it's 7:47 actually, quarter to 8 a.m. London, of course. That's where I am. Spot gold, we've got spot gold at 1866, up $6. Range has been 1856 to 1868. Yes, silver got hit hard yesterday, but I think it's still above the breakout that we've had in silver. If you look at the triangle in silver, or the flag that it's forming, or pennant, if you want to call it, silver's up 24 cents this morning, or 1% at 25.40. It wouldn't take much to get it back above 26. We need to really start focusing more on how much weight of gold and silver we have, not how much we have in phony fiat currency, even though, of course, I do follow the market. And maybe that makes people more psychologically concerned about that, I have to say. But yeah, you just need to be patient and know that things are not going to get better monetarily or fiscally. So there is really one way, only one way to protect your savings. Of course, you might want to invest it if you know what you're doing, and if you know the company that you're investing in and you think it's a good prospect. And if you don't, you save, but you don't save in paper money, you save, or paper currency, you save in real money, gold and silver, right? The Dow had a tough day yesterday, relatively speaking. It was down a couple of 100 points, which is not even 1% anymore. But this morning, we've got the Dow up 13 points, just above 30,000, 30,036. S&P is up 3 3/4 points. S&P future, Nasdaq 100 future is up 15. The currencies, the dollar rebounded yesterday. Not only did the pound go down, but the euro went down significantly. Today, the opposite is happening. The pound is up 0.5%, 134.35, and the euro is up 1/4% at 121.96. Dollars down 1/4% versus the yen, 103.40. It's the old fiat game, of course. Copper is back up a little bit. It's up 0.5%. High grade copper. WTI crude is down 1% at 46.50. To finish off as usual with the 10-year yield. The 10-year yield is at 0.92%. That's unchanged. So there you go. I will be making a video tomorrow, Christmas Eve. I'll probably won't make one on Christmas Day, and then I'll come back after that, give myself a break, give you a break. So there you go. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button. Please share it far and wide. Think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't yet. And you can also follow me on Twitter, Parler, and all these other platforms below here. I wish you all a great day. Take care. Bye.